It's a pretty frigid December day in our nation's capital. We got our space heaters on full blast up in the booth at FedEx Field. Today, rivals square off in the NFC East, and we've got a great matchup between the New York Giants and the Washington Commanders. Here's the kicker, Zane Gonzalez, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from FedEx Field. Taken in at the 3. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. And they'll run the option to start the drive. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And they work this well upfield across the 45. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercise before this one, and they're paying off.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Throwing, Jones. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Now this defense for the Commanders, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
That's the half of it. 7 turnovers in that game. And I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Edwards-Helaire now off the option. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there. On 4th down, Jones. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. They'll run with Edwards-Helaire. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. They go option right on second and goal. And he is going to lose yardage here. Check that out as a 4-yard loss. And now it's third down. Driven down the field nicely here on the opening drive. And now it's put up a shot.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal will feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
They'll look to throw on third and goal. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they proved their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, that's earned it by their play, the psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
On second down, a run with Etienne. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They go play action with Willis. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football, because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now Edwards-Helaire. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
The running lane's definitely not been that important here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now Jones. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Troy Anderson make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. And the first play will be a field goal try. Kicking into a headwind here in the second quarter. Boswell's kick is good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Willis looking to throw on 1st down.
That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Another 1st down, this time on a gain of 19.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Up the middle, Nwangu. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Kene Nwangu. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders have taken the lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Jones. He's got Brown on the out route complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They can use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, these two teams met in our nation's capital earlier this season with the Commanders picking up the win at FedEx Field. So they're looking for another win here in Washington to take the season sweep.
Now Jones on 1st and 10. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Willis will look to throw on 1st down.
His throw incomplete.
So, Charles, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now, here they are, 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep at the switch now. And I think it ultimately benefits them to stay engaged all the way through the season, because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas now, that can really hurt you come playoff time.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls at work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Now on 2nd and 13, Jones. This is Smith with a grab. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. But he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another try after the 1st down sack. Jones under pressure. They got him again. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Looking to throw. Jones. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off, actually catching.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown.
Malik Willis.
30 yards.
And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
Out of his end zone comes Andy Isabella. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
As they take over with exactly 1 minute to go.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offensive get.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. He's at the 50. 30, 20. So the turnover forced and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
Jones, following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. And now here's another interception. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And the Commanders are going to have it here at their own 15. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game.
He's got a man, complete. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll send Brown in motion right. Now Willis on 1st and 10. Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Gonzalez's kick is good, and they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Willis with another keeper. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Really good effort. He does it himself, picks up 15, also picks up the first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their...
And nowhere to run for Willis. He goes down. Deron Payne coming right up the gut, gets in there for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Willis now off play action. Flushed out right. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Joey Bosa, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here, back-to-back sacks. At that time, finally a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. On the counter, Etienne. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
That's caught by Howard. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
Boy, this is a well-orchestrated drive they've put together. You think back to how far they were backed up to start things out. But they've gone on a march since then. And now for that completion there.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Travis Etienne
with touchdown number 20 on the year.
And the Commanders take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
Taken at the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They go play action here on first down. Only able to gain a couple there, and that's going to bring up second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the 17, Jones. And this one complete to Smith. Finding room at midfield. He's still on his feet. Inside the 10. Touchdown. Traquan Smith. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to cut into that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble to bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Willis's throw there, complete to Hamlin.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Off the option, here's Etienne.
They had some room to run now. Touchdown, Washington.
Travis Etienne.
with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Commanders will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he takes it all the way across the 40 before going out of bounds.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic. But if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That really sets him back, a loss of 6. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Second and 16.
Back to throw. Jones.
Smith brings it in, going across the middle.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They like going to him in the slot and catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him. Why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Jones now on 3rd down. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Aaron Stokes. And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 41.
What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
101 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they weren't.
Touchdown, Washington. Jalen Waddle, 29 yards. And the Commanders are closing in on that 16-0 record as they add on to their lead.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that...
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. A big play there for the Giants. And even 40 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Looking to throw. Jones. Touchdown, Giants. Bryan Edwards from 3 yards out. And the Giants get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And this offense on third down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. The shotgun snap to Willis. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by James Bradbury. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Here's Jones throwing on 1st down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position. A real threat. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Jones. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nakobe Dean in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Desperation time now. Here's Jones. This is caught. It's Brown. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. And he takes it all the way down to the 44-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. A give, it's ETN off the option. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 159 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line.
10 more there and another first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington.
Kene Nwangu.
He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Commanders up the lead to 4 scores now here in this fourth quarter.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Now Jones throwing to start the drive. He's going to let it fly. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And some room to work. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
Hey, check that. Unlock line.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Commanders, they have indeed reached a perfect 16-0, but now still one game remains before they join the 07 Pats and the 72 Dolphins as the only teams to finish a regular season unbeaten.